The House of Shit, a legacy in filth. As quoted, a history does not repeat itself, but in the shit family, it certainly piles up from the diaries of fancy shit. Now here is the prologue. This is the origins of a dynasty. The story begins in the rural swamps of Nowhere County, where the first known ancestor, Big Ol' Shit, was born to humble beginnings. He was a simple man, known for one thing, his uncanny ability to turn literal waste into profit. By the mid-1800s, he had amassed a small fortune shipping manure across the Midwest, and in an early letter, Big Ol' Shit wrote into his future wife, Talkin' Shit, "Dearest Talkin', one day this empire of dirt shall be ours. They will laugh at me now, but soon they will know the power of shit." Together, they birthed 3 children. Aw Shit, the ambitious one, Holie Hot Shit, the scandalous one, and Oh My Shit, who spent her entire life wringing her hands in perpetual panic. Aw Shit was a man of vision, often quoted saying, "If life gives you lemons, compost them and sell them back." He married Oh Shit, a sharp-tongued socialite who could silence a room with a single glare. Together they had one child, Jack Shit, who would become the reluctant heir to a growing empire. But this was not an empire without enemies. Historical newspaper clippings speak of the Great Smell War of 1907, when rival families tried to sabotage the Shit's fertilizer business by dumping barrels of their own, resources. And Jack Shit, he was born into wealth, but raised in chaos. Private journals uncovered in the Shit family archives reveal his conflicted feelings. "I never wanted this stinking throne, but they told me, 'Jack, you're the only shit we've got,' so I became the shit they needed." Jack married No Shit, a quiet woman whose family motto was saying nothing, looking shocked. They went on to have 6 children: Holy Shit, Give a Shit, Full of Shit, Bullshit, Deep Shit, and Dip Shit. Each would carve their own infamous path. Holy Shit joined a convent, only to abandon it years later after finding herself in Las Vegas. A letter she wrote to her sister, later found stuffed inside a hollowed-out Bible, read, "Sin tastes better than salvation, sister. Don't tell mother." Well, Give a Shit became the family's philanthropist, donating questionable amounts of money to causes like Save the Pigeons Foundation and Buy a Rich Kid a Yacht. Full of Shit, of course, entered politics. Campaign posters from the era read, "Trust Full of Shit, because who else can you?" Bullshit fled off to Italy after a scandal involving counterfeit pasta recipes. He married Piece of Shit, and they bore Tough Shit, a man described by historians as relentlessly difficult. Deep Shit's life was a cycle of disastrous marriages. He first wed Dumb Shit, a dropout who once famously said, "Education is a scam for smart people." After that divorce, he eloped with Lotta Shit and later had an affair with a rodeo clown known only as Horse Shit. Deep Shit, the youngest, ran away with Dirty Shit. Dumb Shit's equally unremarkable twin, their daughter, Smart as Shit, would later become the only functional member of the entire lineage. As the decades passed, the Shit family tree branched into even stranger directions. Distant cousins included Piece of Shit, a Floridian con artist who once sold bottled rainwater as tears of angels; Lazy Shit, who wrote a 2,000-page manifesto on why working is overrated; and Scary Shit, whose whereabouts remain unknown, but those shadows haunt every family reunion. Fancy Shit, who tried to pass as royalty by adding Von to the family name and pretending to own a castle in Germany. Total Shit, who sparked an international incident in '74 by yelling at the Queen of England, and a faded telegram from that year still exists. It says, "Stop, it's total. I really messed up this time. Stop. Need bail money, lots of it. Stop. Don't tell Jack. Stop." Today, the Shit empire has evolved into a sprawling conglomerate. Shit Happens Enterprises owns Shitstorm Media, specializing in scandalous tabloid stories. No Shit Sherlock Security, the least reliable home security system. Shitface Brewery, known for its regret in a bottle. And the Shit Happens Foundation, which is a charity that mysteriously funds luxurious vacations for its own board members at family reunions, still held at Camp Took a Shit. You can spot the newer generation, Lit Shit, the TikTok star who live streams everything, Sus Shit, who trusts no one, and Petty Shit, who starts fights just for entertainment. And of course, there's Meta Shit, who now hosts popular documentary series titled Talking Shit About the Shits. Now, in a rare recorded interview, an elderly Jack Shit once reflected on his legacy, saying, "People always ask if I'm proud. Proud? No, but I'm consistent. We're shits. It's what we do. We spread." Now, you have those gravestones etched deep with those names like dipshit, deep shit, dumb shit, dirty shit, and tough shit. And on those gravestones it says, "And so the house shit endures, an unstoppable dynasty of dysfunction, deception, and dubious decisions. Generations may pass, but one truth remains the same. Everyone eventually will know Jack Shit." Thank you so much. Yay!